Welcome to this training course on the F-15C Eagle. These interactive training lessons are a supplement to the manual and will provide a hands-on means of learning this aircraft. Learning the Eagle may seem daunting at first, but these lessons are broken down into small chunks to allow you to better absorb the material. The mission is currently in active pause, which means you can operate aircraft controls while paused. Press the spacebar to continue. The F-15C is a high-performance air superiority fighter, meaning its mission in life is to take down enemy aircraft to control the airspace. It's armed with radar and heat-seeking air-to-air missiles and a 20mm cannon. It's powered by two powerful turbofan engines and features the high-mount swept-back wing, twin vertical stabilizers, and a light, high-strength structure containing rugged subsystems. The cockpit is elevated to enhance visibility. The F-15 is a large fighter and has been nicknamed the Flying Tennis Court. It serves with the air forces of the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Japan. Press the spacebar to continue. Next, we'll cover some of the cockpit instruments. I'll highlight certain instruments as they're described with orange brackets to help you locate them. To look around the cockpit, you can use the mouse or the following keyboard commands. View up, numpad 8. View down, numpad 2. View left, numpad 4. View right, numpad 6. Center view, numpad 5. Zoom in, numpad star. Zoom out, numpad slash. Press the spacebar to continue. Your most important instrument will be the head-up display or HUD, which consists of two glass panels that are used to display projected information. Horizontally along the top of the HUD is the heading tape. The caret on the tape indicates your current heading. The numbers on the tape are your heading in tens of degrees. That is, north is 00, east is 09, south is 18, and so forth. The airspeed tape is the vertical scale on the far left side of the HUD. It's measured in knots. The caret in the middle shows your indicated airspeed. The tape on the right side of the HUD is your altitude above sea level, which is not necessarily your altitude above ground level. Press the spacebar to continue. In the center of the HUD is the pitch ladder that indicates your positive or negative pitch angle to the horizon. Rungs of the pitch ladder below the horizon will be dashed lines. The aircraft symbol, the one that looks like a W, near the center of the HUD indicates the direction your nose is pointing. The symbol in the center of the HUD that looks like a circle with tick marks on the top and sides is the velocity vector. This shows the point you're traveling towards, which is not necessarily exactly where the nose is pointing. Press the spacebar to continue. You can adjust the HUD brightness up and down with right control right shift H and right alt right shift H, and you can change the HUD color with right control H. Feel free to try this out now and press the spacebar when you're ready to continue. A highlighted display is your vertical situation display, or VSD. It's mainly used to display radar information, which we'll discuss in a later lesson. However, look at the text at the bottom. The number after G in the left is your ground speed, and the number after T on the right is your true airspeed, both in knots. As I mentioned, your HUD shows your indicated airspeed. In a nutshell, that's the speed the aircraft feels like it's flying. At higher altitudes or temperatures, the air is less dense, so the same speed through the air, which is referred to as true airspeed, has less effect on the airplane, meaning your indicated airspeed will be slower than your true airspeed. You can see this by comparing your true airspeed in the VSC to the indicated airspeed in the HUD, marked by the caret on the far left vertical scale now. The ground speed can be different than your true airspeed if there's wind. Imagine you're sitting stationary on a runway in a headwind. Your ground speed will be 0, but your airspeed won't because air is blowing across your aircraft. Unless specified otherwise, speeds discussed are generally indicated airspeeds. Press the spacebar to continue. This instrument on the right center of your instrument panel is your vertical velocity indicator, or VVI. This shows your climb rate, which is currently 0, which means you're not climbing or descending right now. Press the spacebar to continue. Down in the lower right is a clock. This can be useful if you need to rendezvous with other aircraft at a certain time. You can set a timer using the little hand in this clock display by pressing left shift T to start, stop, reset. Feel free to try that out now if you'd like. Press the spacebar to continue. There are three primary controls that you will use to fly the Eagle. These are the control stick, throttle, and rudder pedals. The control stick controls pitch and roll. Push and pull back on the stick to lower and raise the nose of the aircraft. To roll the aircraft, push the stick to the left or right. I strongly recommend using a joystick, but you can also use the arrow keys on the keyboard. By rolling the aircraft and then pulling back on the stick, you turn the aircraft. To move the nose of your aircraft laterally side to side, use left and right rudder pedals, Z and X on the keyboard. You will also use the rudder pedals to steer the aircraft when you taxi using nose wheel steering. To adjust your speed, move the throttle forward and backward with your throttle control or the num plus and num minus keys. When you select the maximum throttle setting, the afterburners are activated. These provide great thrust but consume fuel very quickly. The highest throttle setting before afterburner kicks in is referred to as mil or military power. Press the spacebar to continue. The highlighted dials indicate engine nozzle position and are a good way to tell at a glance whether you're an afterburner. Adjust the throttle into and out of afterburner a few times, you'll hear when the afterburner kicks in, and watch how these dials bump up from less than 5 to over 20 degrees when the afterburner is active. This will help you avoid accidentally cruising around. If you want to slow down quickly, you can use the speed brake, which is a large plate on the top of the fuselage that hydraulically deploys into the airstream. When the speed brake is extended, the speed brake out, there is a series of gates ahead of you that you will fly through to practice flying the Eagle. Use your throttle to keep your airspeed between 250 and 400 knots. Remember, this implies indicated airspeed, which is what's displayed on the HUD. The faster you are, the wider your turns will be, so avoid getting too fast or it will be hard to turn towards the next gate. Be careful not to over-control the aircraft with large, rapid control movements. Use smooth inputs instead. The velocity At any point of a lesson, you can press the pause key. This can be useful if you need more time to read the text or step away. There are various views you can select. For example, you can choose an external view by pressing F2 or a chase view by pressing left Ctrl F4. To return to the cockpit, press F1. Congratulations, you've completed the first lesson. You can keep flying or press escape to end the lesson.